switched to blue electronic cigarettes, not only did I feel better about myself, I felt the freedom to have a cigarette without the guilt. With blue e-cigs, there's no tobacco smoke, only vapor. Now when I go to public places...
Now that's a clip from a television commercial promoting a brand of e-cigarette called Blue. An American celebrity named Jenny McCarthy urges viewers to use Blue rather than a cigarette. Other brands of e-cigarettes also use celebrity endorsements. Advertisers say it's to make their products look cool and fun. So are these efforts working? And are there real dangers to this new technology? Apparently the answer to both questions is yes, as CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg explains.
They say where there's smoke, there's fire. But the electronic cigarette, or e-cigarette, uses a battery to heat liquefied nicotine. There's no tobacco. And what comes out looking like smoke is actually vapor, like steam from a kettle. The first e-cigarette was invented nearly 15 years ago by a Chinese pharmacist named Han Lik, who wanted a cleaner way to inhale the addictive substance. Now, the majority of the world's e-cigarettes are made in China, which has the world's largest number of smokers. But U.S. health officials say a growing number of electronic cigarettes are now ending up in the hands of American teenagers. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, last year, 3 million school-aged youth used them. That's a 20% jump from the previous year. Shop owner Donnie Thomason says it's better than traditional smoking.
We actually opened the store up to help people to transition away from smoking over to vaping, which tends to be a lot healthier.
But what's worrying U.S. health officials and educators is that teens who have never smoked tobacco cigarettes are now taking up e-cigs and doing it at a younger age.
In the future, later on, it's not going to be strong enough for them, and they go into regular cigarettes. So the habit itself, the behavior, is not being changed. It's actually being encouraged.
Just 5 years ago, 1.5% of U.S. high school students were using e-cigs, and slightly more than 0.5% of middle schoolers were. By last year, 1 in 8 high schoolers were smoking e-cigarettes, and in middle schools, more than 5% were. That's 1 in 20 students. In nearly every U.S. state, selling e-cigarettes to under 18s is illegal. Local makers say they are only targeting adults.
We don't need to sell to kids. This stuff sells itself to people who love to vape, who are of age.
He says vaping is safe, but recent research suggests the nicotine inhaled may also prime the brain to become addicted to other substances. An overwhelming majority of adult smokers say they began smoking or at least tried a cigarette when they were teenagers. Health officials say they're worried that those who are now trying electronic cigarettes may end up hooked long-term and caught up in a cycle of addiction. Roee Ruttenberg, CCTV in Washington.